The Path Towards Spiritual Awakening by Ray Baptiste. A note from the author. May everyone find joy and freedom through awakening. May you, the reader, see as clearly as you do your own reflection in the mirror that the universe is within you, that the universe is you. Introduction. The Call to Awaken. Once you fully comprehend the content of this book, you will never be the same again. In the heart of every soul lies a quiet whisper, a call that beckons you to rise above the noise and confusion of the world, to discover a truth that transcends the ordinary. This whisper is not new. It is the same call that echoed in the hearts of the ancient seekers, those who walked the sacred paths of the Himalayas, who meditated in the caves of the deserts, who pondered the mysteries of life and death in the quiet temples of old. In our modern world, where the pace of life accelerates with every passing day, where distractions abound and the clamor of everyday existence drowns out the voice of the soul, the need for spiritual awakening has never been more urgent. The world offers us many things: success, wealth, pleasure, yet these are not the true aims, but the natural outcomes of a deeper transformation. They are the side effects of awakening, attained only when we turn inward and work on the foundation of our being. To grasp these rewards directly is to miss the point, for they cannot be chased or forced. They are the fruits of a journey where the real focus is on cultivating the self, aligning with the divine within, and walking the path of truth. Only then do these external rewards naturally follow, as reflections of the inner harmony and wisdom we have attained. The ancient masters understood this well. They knew that true fulfillment could not be found in the material world, but only in the discovery of the divine self, the eternal essence that resides within each of us. They left behind teachings, sacred texts, and practices, tools to guide us on this journey. Hermeticism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and the great philosophies of the past all point to the same truth: that the divine is not something to be sought outside, but something to be realized within. You may ask, why now? Why should I heed this call when life is so full, when the demands of work, family, and society pull me in 1,000 different directions? The answer is simple: because the life you are living, the world you are experiencing, is only a shadow of what it could be. Spiritual awakening is not about renouncing the world, but about seeing it with new eyes, about living from a place of truth and deep connection with the divine. When you awaken, everything changes. You begin to see the world not as a collection of separate things, but as an interconnected web of life, where every action, every thought, every breath is infused with meaning and purpose. This book is your guide. It is a map, drawn from the wisdom of the ages, to help you navigate the path toward awakening. Each part of this journey will offer you powerful insights, sacred practices, and actionable steps that, when followed with sincerity and devotion, will transform your life. These teachings are not mere philosophies to be pondered, but practical steps to be lived. They are tools to help you strip away the layers of illusion and uncover the radiant light of your true self. Remember, the path to spiritual awakening is not linear. It is a spiral, ever deepening, ever expanding. With each step you take, you will find yourself closer to the divine, yet aware of its true depths. This is the beauty of the journey. It is endless, but every moment on the path is rich with the possibility of transformation. So, as you embark on this sacred journey, take a moment to center yourself. breathe deeply and feel the presence of the divine within you. Know that you are not alone. The ancient seekers, the wise masters, and countless souls who have walked this path before you are with you, guiding you, supporting you. The call to awaken has been sounded. The time to answer is now. Part 1. The Foundation. Understanding the Spiritual Path. The ancient quest for truth. Since the dawn of human consciousness, there has been a profound yearning within us, a desire to understand the mysteries of existence, to connect with something greater than ourselves. This quest for truth, this longing to comprehend the divine, is universal. It transcends cultures, epochs, and belief systems. From the mystical rites of ancient Egypt to the sacred chants of the Vedic sages, from the silent meditations of the Buddha to the cryptic teachings of the Hermetic masters, humanity has always sought to bridge the gap between the mundane and the eternal. In the Hermetic tradition, this pursuit is articulated through the principle of as above, so below. This ancient wisdom, drawn from the emerald tablet of Hermes Trismegistus, speaks to the interconnectedness of all things, the macrocosm and the microcosm, the divine and the human. The Hermetic texts urge us to look inward, for the answers we seek in the cosmos are mirrored within our own souls. This inner journey, this quest to align the self with the divine order, is at the heart of the spiritual path. Similarly, the Upanishads, the ancient scriptures of India, delve into the nature of the self and its relationship with the ultimate reality, Brahman. The sages of the Upanishads teach that the essence of all existence is pure consciousness, and that realizing our oneness with this universal consciousness is the key to true understanding. They remind us that the divine is not an external force to be worshipped from afar, but the very core of our being, the Atman, the soul within each of us. This realization is not merely an intellectual exercise, but a profound spiritual awakening that transforms how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. The teachings of the Buddha further illuminate this path, emphasizing the importance of direct experience over mere belief. The Buddha, after years of ascetic practices and deep meditation, attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree and shared his insights on the nature of suffering and the path to liberation. His teachings, encapsulated in the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, offer a practical guide for transcending the illusions of the material world and achieving a state of nirvana, complete spiritual awakening. Central to these ancient teachings is the concept of the great work in alchemy, a symbolic journey of transformation. The alchemists of old were not merely concerned with turning lead into gold, but with the transmutation of the self, purifying the soul, refining the spirit, and ultimately achieving union with the divine. The great work represents the alchemist's journey to achieve the philosopher's stone, a metaphor for spiritual enlightenment and immortality. This process involves the stages of nigredo, blackening, albedo, whitening, and rubedo, reddening, symbolizing the death of the old self, the purification of the soul, and the birth of the enlightened being. In this quest for truth, we see that the journey of personal transformation is not a new one. It is a path well trodden by countless seekers before us. The ancients understood that the true goal is not merely to gain knowledge, but to undergo a deep inner transformation. The wisdom they left behind serves as a guide for us today, urging us to undertake our own great work, to purify, to awaken, and to align ourselves with the divine truth that lies within. As you embark on this journey, remember that the quest for truth is not about finding answers, but about becoming the answer. It is a path of constant refinement, of stripping away the false to reveal the true, of aligning your inner world with the cosmic order. The ancient seekers have lit the way. Now it is up to you to walk the path. The nature of the self. At the core of every spiritual tradition lies a fundamental question: who am I? This inquiry into the nature of the self is not merely a philosophical exercise, but the very heart of the spiritual path. The ancient sages and philosophers, through their deep contemplation and meditation, have provided profound insights into the true nature of the self, distinguishing it from the illusions created by the ego. In the teachings of Vedanta, one of the 6 schools of Hindu philosophy, the self is referred to as the Atman, the eternal, unchanging essence that underlies all existence. The Upanishads, the foundational texts of Vedanta, teach that this Atman is identical to Brahman, the ultimate reality or universal consciousness. The realization of this oneness is the highest goal of spiritual practice, leading to liberation, or moksha. The Upanishadic sages explained that what we commonly perceive as the self, the mind, body, emotions, and thoughts, is not the true self. These are transient, ever-changing, and ultimately illusory aspects of our being, collectively known as the ego, or ahamkara. The ego is the identity we construct, a collection of labels, roles, and attachments that we mistake for who we truly are. It is rooted in duality, in the false perception of separation from the divine and from others. In contrast, the true self, the Atman, is beyond the dualities of life. It is pure consciousness, untouched by the vicissitudes of the material world. To realize the Atman is to transcend the ego, to see through the illusion of individuality, and to recognize the unity of all existence. The Stoic philosophers of ancient Greece, though from a different tradition, echoed similar truths about the nature of the self. Figures such as Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca emphasized the distinction between what is within our control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, and what lies outside our control. They taught that our true self is defined not by external circumstances, but by our inner virtue and wisdom. The Stoics recognized the ego as the source of suffering, rooted in attachments to things beyond our control. Both Vedanta and Stoic philosophy teach that, to understand the nature of the self, one must undertake a journey of introspection and self-inquiry. This journey involves dismantling the layers of the ego, peeling back the masks we wear, and confronting the illusions we have come to accept as reality. It is a process of moving inward, away from the distractions of the external world, and toward the still, silent center of our being. The illusion of separation. One of the most profound misconceptions that binds humanity in suffering is the belief in separation. The idea that we are isolated individuals, disconnected from each other and from the divine. This illusion of separation is the root of fear, conflict, and loneliness. Yet, at the heart of the world's great spiritual traditions lies a different truth, the truth of oneness. To awaken spiritually is to pierce through the veil of separation and to realize the fundamental unity of all existence. In the non-dualistic school of Hindu philosophy, Advaita Vedanta, the concept of oneness is paramount. The term Advaita itself means not two, signifying the indivisibility of reality. According to Advaita Vedanta, the ultimate reality is Brahman, the infinite formless essence that pervades everything. The individual soul, or Atman, is not separate from Brahman, but is one with it. The perception of duality, of self and other, of subject and object, is a misapprehension. a product of Maya, the cosmic illusion that obscures the true nature of reality. The ancient sages of Advaita Vedanta taught that the world we perceive through our senses is like a dream or a mirage, seemingly real but ultimately illusory. The individual ego, which sees itself as separate and distinct, is like a wave that believes it is separate from the ocean. In truth, there is no separation. The wave is the ocean, and the ocean is the wave. To realize this is to attain moksha, or liberation, the dissolution of the ego into the infinite expanse of Brahman, where all distinctions fade away. This idea of oneness is echoed in the Hermetic principle of correspondence, famously articulated as above, so below, as within, so without. This ancient maxim suggests that the macrocosm and the microcosm, the universe and the individual, are reflections of each other. The divine is not distant or separate, but is mirrored in every aspect of existence, from the vastness of the cosmos to the depths of the human soul. Just as the stars in the sky mirror the spark of the divine within us, so too does every aspect of creation reflect the one universal consciousness. To embrace the truth of oneness is to transcend the illusion of separation and to see the divine presence in all beings and all things. It is to recognize that the boundaries we perceive between self and other, between human and divine, are mere constructs of the mind. When we look beyond these constructs, we see that everything is interconnected, part of a single, living whole. The practice of contemplative prayer or meditation on unity. To cultivate an awareness of oneness, it is essential to engage in practices that help dissolve the illusion of separation and bring you into direct experience of the divine unity that underlies all existence. One such practice is contemplative prayer or meditation on unity, a powerful method for deepening your sense of connection with the divine and with all of creation. Begin by finding a quiet place where you can sit undisturbed. Close your eyes and take several deep breaths, allowing your body and mind to relax. As you settle into stillness, bring your attention to your heart center, the seat of the soul, where the spark of the divine resides. In your mind's eye, visualize a light within your heart, radiant and pure. This light is the Atman, the true self, a reflection of Brahman, the universal consciousness. As you focus on this light, feel it expanding, growing brighter and more luminous until it fills your entire being. Allow this light to continue expanding outward, beyond the confines of your body, merging with the light in all beings, in all things. As you meditate on this light, silently affirm the truth of oneness. I am one with all that is. The divine presence within me is the same divine presence in all beings. There is no separation. Repeat this affirmation as a mantra, letting it resonate deeply within you. Alternatively, if you prefer contemplative prayer, choose a simple, meaningful phrase that reflects the unity of all existence, such as, God is in all, or all is one in the divine. As you repeat this phrase, allow its meaning to sink into your heart, filling you with a sense of peace and connection. As you engage in this practice, you may begin to notice subtle shifts in your perception. You might feel a deeper sense of empathy and compassion for others, recognizing that their joys and sorrows are not separate from your own. You may start to see the divine presence in the beauty of nature, in the eyes of a stranger, in the small, ordinary moments of life. This meditation or prayer is not about intellectual understanding, but about directly experiencing the oneness that is always present, just beneath the surface of our awareness. The more you practice, the more this sense of unity will permeate your daily life, dissolving the illusion of separation and allowing you to live from a place of deep connection with the divine. As you continue on the path of spiritual awakening, this awareness of oneness will become your anchor, guiding you through the complexities of life with a sense of inner peace and unwavering connection to the divine source. This is the truth that the ancient sages knew, the truth that transcends time and space, that you are not separate, but part of a vast, interconnected whole where everything is one and the divine is all. Part 2. The Journey Inward. Practices for Inner Transformation. In the pursuit of spiritual awakening, there is no practice more essential than meditation. It is the doorway through which we enter the vast inner world, the path that leads us from the chaos of the outer world to the serene stillness of our true self. Across cultures and spiritual traditions, meditation has been revered as the foundation of inner transformation, a practice that not only calms the mind, but also awakens the soul. Ancient meditation practices offer a variety of approaches, each with its own unique method for achieving inner peace and spiritual insight. Three of the most profound traditions, Buddhist Vipassana, Hindu Pranayama, and the stillness of the Tao, provide timeless wisdom for those seeking to deepen their meditation practice and connect with the divine within. Vipassana meditation, which means insight or clear seeing, is one of the oldest forms of meditation, originating from the teachings of the Buddha over 2,500 years ago. Vipassana is a practice of observing the breath and bodily sensations with a non-judgmental awareness, cultivating a deep understanding of the impermanent nature of all things. By focusing on the breath, practitioners develop mindfulness, or sati, and learn to witness the arising and passing of thoughts, emotions, and sensations without attachment. This practice leads to the dissolution of mental impurities and the realization of anatta, the truth of non-self, which is central to Buddhist teachings. In the Hindu tradition, pranayama, the practice of controlling the breath, is a key component of meditation and yoga. Derived from the Sanskrit words prana, life force, and ayama, extension or control, pranayama involves various breathing techniques that regulate the flow of prana through the body's energy channels, or nadis. This practice not only calms the mind, but also purifies the energy pathways, preparing the practitioner for deeper states of meditation. Pranayama harmonizes the physical, mental, and spiritual aspects of being, leading to a state of dhyana, or meditative absorption, where the individual mind merges with the universal consciousness. In the philosophy of Taoism, the practice of meditation is centered on the concept of Wu Wei, often translated as non-action or effortless action. Taoist meditation emphasizes stillness and alignment with the natural flow of the Tao, the underlying principle of the universe. Unlike other forms of meditation that focus on specific techniques or goals, Taoist meditation encourages a state of deep relaxation and surrender, allowing the practitioner to become one with the flow of life. In this state of stillness, known as Zuowang, or sitting and forgetting, the ego dissolves, and one experiences the profound peace that comes from unity with the Tao. Each of these meditation practices offers a different path to inner peace, yet they all share a common goal: to quiet the mind, transcend the ego, and connect with the deeper reality that lies beyond the surface of everyday life. Whether through the mindfulness of Vipassana, the breath control of pranayama, or the stillness of the Tao, meditation is the key to unlocking the door to your inner world, where true peace and spiritual insight reside. A daily practice of self-inquiry. To begin this journey of self-discovery, it is essential to establish a daily practice that allows you to turn inward and observe the workings of the ego. One of the most effective tools for this is self-inquiry, a meditative practice popularized by the Indian sage Ramana Maharshi, who urged his disciples to ask themselves the simple but profound question, "Who am I?" Start by setting aside time each day to sit in quiet contemplation. As you settle into stillness, bring your attention to the question, "Who am I?" Allow the question to penetrate deeply, beyond the surface answers provided by the mind. Whenever thoughts arise, observe them without judgment, recognizing them as products of the ego. Gently return to the inquiry, peeling away each layer of identification until only the pure awareness of the self remains. In addition to self-inquiry, mindfulness meditation is a powerful practice to cultivate awareness of the present moment and to observe the fluctuations of the mind without attachment. As you meditate, focus on your breath, becoming fully present with each inhale and exhale. Notice how the mind tries to pull you into thoughts, worries, and distractions. Recognize these as the movements of the ego and gently bring your attention back to the breath. With consistent practice, you will begin to see the patterns of the ego more clearly, the ways in which it seeks validation, clings to desires, and creates a sense of separation. You will also start to experience moments of stillness, where the true self, the Atman, shines through. These moments are glimpses of the deeper reality that lies beneath the surface of your daily experience. As you continue this practice, the illusion of the ego will begin to dissolve, revealing the true nature of the self as pure, undivided consciousness. This realization is not an endpoint, but a continuous unfolding, a deepening of your connection with the divine and the world around you. The journey of self-discovery is the foundation upon which all spiritual awakening is built, guiding you ever closer to the truth of who you truly are. Sacred rituals. Throughout history, sacred rituals have served as powerful tools for connecting with the divine, grounding spiritual practices in the rhythms of daily life. Whether in the ancient temples of Egypt, the forests of the Amazon, or the solitary spaces of a hermit's retreat, rituals have provided a tangible way for humans to honor the sacred, mark the passage of time, and align themselves with the forces of nature and spirit. Rituals have the power to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, creating a bridge between the physical world and the spiritual realm. They help us step out of the mundane and into a space where the divine can be felt, heard, and experienced directly. In traditions like Hermeticism and shamanism, rituals are seen not merely as symbolic acts, but as potent expressions of the sacred, capable of invoking spiritual forces, altering consciousness, and facilitating personal transformation. In Hermeticism, rituals are often linked to the principles of alchemy, the ancient art of transformation. Hermetic rituals are designed to harmonize the practitioner's inner world with the cosmic forces, invoking the divine through symbols, words, and gestures. These rituals may involve the use of sacred geometry, the recitation of divine names, or the performance of specific actions that align with the movements of celestial bodies. The goal is to achieve a state of unity with the divine, transforming the practitioner's soul and bringing them closer to the realization of the great work, the ultimate spiritual goal of alchemical practice. Shamanism, one of the oldest spiritual traditions in the world, also places great emphasis on ritual. Shamans act as mediators between the physical and spiritual worlds, using rituals to communicate with spirits, heal the sick, and bring balance to their communities. Shamanic rituals often involve drumming, chanting, dancing, and the use of sacred plants or objects. These practices are not just for the benefit of the individual, but for the entire community, emphasizing the interconnectedness of all life. The power of ritual lies in its ability to anchor our spiritual practices in the physical world, making the intangible tangible and the invisible visible. By engaging in rituals, we create sacred space in our lives, moments when we step out of the flow of ordinary time and connect with the eternal. These practices remind us of our connection to the divine and help us cultivate a sense of reverence, mindfulness, and intentionality in our daily lives. Designing a personal daily ritual. Creating a personal daily ritual is a profound way to bring the sacred into your everyday life. Whether simple or elaborate, your ritual should resonate with you personally, reflecting your unique spiritual path and intentions. Here's how to design a ritual that aligns with your spiritual practice. 1. Set your intention. Before creating your ritual, take some time to reflect on your spiritual goals and intentions. What do you hope to achieve through this practice? Is it to connect with the divine, to cultivate inner peace, or to bring more mindfulness into your day? Your intention will guide the structure and elements of your ritual. 2. Choose a time and place. Decide on a specific time and place for your ritual. It could be first thing in the morning to set the tone for your day, or in the evening to unwind and reflect. Choose a location that feels sacred to you. This could be an altar you create at home, a quiet corner of a room, or even a spot in nature. 3. Incorporate sacred elements. Select a few sacred elements to incorporate into your ritual. These could include candle lighting. Light a candle to symbolize the presence of the divine and to bring light into your spiritual practice. The flame can represent the light of your soul, guiding you on your path. Incense or essential oils. Burning incense or diffusing essential oils can help purify your space and create a sensory experience that anchors you in the present moment. Scents like sandalwood, frankincense, or lavender are often associated with spiritual practices. Mantra. Choose a mantra, a sacred word or phrase that resonates with your intention. Chanting a mantra can help focus your mind, raise your vibration, and connect you with the divine. For example, the mantra Om is considered the sound of the universe and is often used to attune oneself to cosmic energy. Prayer or affirmation. Recite a prayer or affirmation that aligns with your spiritual goals. This could be a traditional prayer from your spiritual tradition or a personal affirmation that you've created. The key is to speak words that uplift your spirit and reinforce your connection to the divine. 4. Engage in mindful reflection. As part of your ritual, take a few moments to engage in mindful reflection or meditation. Focus on your breath, observe your thoughts, and allow yourself to be fully present in the moment. Reflect on your day, your intentions, and any insights you wish to carry forward. 5. Close with gratitude. End your ritual with a moment of gratitude. Give thanks for the opportunity to connect with the divine, for the guidance you've received, and for the blessings in your life. Gratitude opens the heart and deepens your spiritual practice, helping you cultivate a positive and receptive mindset. 6. Personalize your ritual. Your ritual is a personal expression of your spiritual journey, so feel free to personalize it in a way that feels meaningful to you. You might incorporate a specific gesture, like bowing or offering flowers, or include other elements like journaling, drawing, or creating art. The most important thing is that your ritual resonates with your heart and soul. By engaging in a daily ritual, you create a sacred space in your life where you can connect with the divine, reflect on your spiritual path, and anchor your intentions in the physical world. Over time, this practice will deepen your spiritual awareness, helping you live with greater mindfulness, reverence, and connection to the sacred in all things. Part 3. The Outer Journey. Living an Awakened Life. Walking the Path of Dharma. The concept of Dharma is central to Hindu philosophy, representing the cosmic law that governs the universe and the moral duty each individual must fulfill in their life. Living in accordance with Dharma is about aligning your life with your true purpose, the unique path that the divine has set for you. When you walk the path of Dharma, you live in harmony with the universe, fulfilling your spiritual and worldly responsibilities with grace and integrity. In the Bhagavad Gita, the warrior prince Arjuna is taught by Lord Krishna that Dharma is not merely about external actions, but about inner alignment with one's higher purpose. This teaching emphasizes that true spiritual liberation, moksha, is achieved not by renouncing the world, but by engaging in it fully and consciously, fulfilling your duties without attachment to the fruits of your actions. This is the essence of nishkama karma, action without desire, which leads to inner peace and spiritual growth. Understanding your dharma requires deep introspection and a willingness to listen to the subtle callings of your soul. It is about recognizing the unique gifts and talents you have been given, and using them in service of something greater than yourself. Whether your dharma leads you to be a teacher, healer, artist, or caretaker, the key is to act with sincerity, compassion, and a sense of duty, knowing that each step on this path is a step towards spiritual liberation. Reflect on your life's purpose. To begin aligning your life with your dharma, take time to reflect on your true purpose. Here are some steps to guide you. 1. Self-inquiry. Ask yourself deep questions about your life's purpose. What brings you joy? What are you passionate about? What are your natural talents and abilities? Reflect on how you can use these gifts to serve others and contribute to the world. 2. Meditation and contemplation. Spend time in meditation, allowing your mind to quiet so that your inner wisdom can emerge. Contemplate the idea of Dharma and ask for guidance from the divine on how to fulfill your purpose. 3. Align your actions. Begin to align your daily actions with your higher purpose. This might involve making changes in your career, relationships, or daily routines to better reflect your true calling. Remember that even small steps taken with intention can have a profound impact on your spiritual journey. 4. Let go of fear. Walking the path of Dharma often requires courage and the willingness to step into the unknown. Trust that when you align with your true purpose, the universe will support you, providing the opportunities and resources you need to fulfill your destiny. The Art of Detachment. The teachings of the Bhagavad Gita offer profound insights into the art of detachment, a practice that is essential for achieving inner peace and spiritual liberation. Detachment, or vairagya, is not about renouncing the world or becoming indifferent to life's experiences, but about cultivating a mindset of non-attachment to outcomes. It is about doing your duty with dedication and love, but without being overly concerned with the results of your actions. Lord Krishna advises Arjuna to perform his duties selflessly, without attachment to success or failure. This teaching is especially relevant in our modern world, where we are often driven by a desire for achievement, recognition, and material gain. The constant pursuit of these external goals often lead to anxiety, stress, and dissatisfaction. By practicing detachment, we free ourselves from the bondage of desires and fears, allowing us to experience true inner peace. Detachment does not mean giving up on life or its pleasures. Rather, it means enjoying them without clinging. It is about understanding that everything in life is transient: pleasure and pain, success and failure, gain and loss. When we let go of our attachment to outcomes, we remain centered and peaceful, regardless of the circumstances. True success comes from performing acts of service with integrity. The universe sees and listens, and the rewards will follow. Compassion and service. Compassion and service are at the heart of all spiritual teachings, recognized as powerful paths to enlightenment. In Buddhism, compassion, or karuna, is seen as a fundamental quality of an awakened being. The Buddha taught that true compassion arises from understanding the suffering of others and responding with a desire to alleviate that suffering. Similarly, in Christianity, the teachings of Jesus emphasize the importance of love and service, urging followers to care for the poor, the sick, and the marginalized. Serving others is not just a noble act, it is a powerful spiritual practice that dissolves the ego and brings us closer to the divine. When we serve selflessly, we transcend our limited sense of self and experience the interconnectedness of all life. Service becomes a form of worship, a way of honoring the divine in each being we encounter. Engaging in acts of compassion and service also helps us cultivate metta, or loving kindness, a quality that softens the heart and opens us to deeper levels of spiritual awakening. Through service, we learn to see beyond our own needs and desires, developing a sense of empathy and connection with all beings. This not only transforms those we serve, but also transforms us, leading to profound spiritual growth. Part 4. The Union. Merging with the Divine. The Mystic's Path. The Mystic's Path is one of direct experiential union with the divine, a journey that transcends dogma, ritual, and intellectual understanding. Throughout history, mystics from various traditions have sought to experience this union not as an abstract concept, but as a living reality. Whether through the ecstatic poetry of Sufi mystics like Rumi, the contemplative practices of Christian mystics such as Saint Teresa of Avila, or the paradoxical teachings of Zen masters, the mystic's path is one of surrender, love, and deep inner transformation. Mysticism is not reserved for the select few. It is a path open to all who seek to know the divine intimately, beyond the limitations of the mind. Mystics teach us that the divine is not a distant external force, but the very essence of our being, accessible in every moment, in every breath. The dark night of the soul. The spiritual path is not always filled with light and joy. There are times when we must walk through darkness. This period of spiritual desolation, known as the dark night of the soul, is a common experience on the journey to enlightenment. Saint John of the Cross, a 16th century Spanish mystic, described this as a time when the soul feels abandoned by God, a time of intense inner struggle and suffering. Yet, the dark night is not a punishment. It is a profound transformation process where the soul is purified and stripped of all attachments. It is through this dark night that the soul is prepared for the ultimate union with the divine. During this time, all that is false or ego-based is burned away, leaving only the pure essence of the soul, ready to merge with the divine. Embrace the darkness with trust. When you find yourself in a dark night, remember that this is a necessary part of the spiritual journey. Here are some ways to navigate this challenging period. 1. Surrender to the process. Instead of resisting the pain or trying to escape it, surrender to the process. Trust that this darkness is a sacred time of purification, leading you to a deeper connection with the divine. 2. Journaling. Keep a journal during this time, writing about your experiences, thoughts, and feelings. This can be a powerful way to process your emotions and gain insight into the transformation taking place within you. 3. Seek support. Reach out to a spiritual guide, mentor, or trusted friend who can offer support and perspective during this time. Sometimes, simply sharing your experience with someone who understands can bring great comfort. 4. Patience and faith. Remember that the dark night is temporary, and that on the other side lies a greater light and deeper connection with the divine. Be patient with yourself and maintain your faith in the process, knowing that this darkness is a doorway to a higher state of consciousness. The final awakening, enlightenment. Enlightenment, or moksha in Hinduism, nirvana in Buddhism, and satori in Zen, is the ultimate goal of the spiritual journey. It is the realization of one's true nature, the direct experience of oneness with the divine, beyond all duality and separation. Enlightenment is not a destination, but a profound shift in consciousness, a realization that you are not separate from the divine, but are the divine, expressing itself in human form. This awakening is the culmination of the spiritual path, the moment when the ego dissolves and all illusions of separation fall away. Enlightened beings such as the Buddha, Ramana Maharshi, and countless others have described this state as one of indescribable peace, joy, and love, a state where the individual self is no more and only the divine remains. Epilogue. The journey continues. The path of spiritual awakening is a lifelong journey, one that does not end with enlightenment, but continues to unfold in ever-deepening layers of understanding and love. As you walk this path, remember that each step you take brings you closer to the divine, to the realization of your true nature, and to the ultimate union with the source of all that is. May this journey lead you to profound peace, joy, and liberation. May you find the courage to walk the path of Dharma, the wisdom to practice detachment, the compassion to serve others, and the grace to embrace the divine in every moment. And as you continue on this path, may you never be the same again.